I go for a look which I call dead but delicious.
Oh my god! Wow!
We are playing Vampire the Masquerade Shadows of New York. I've been so excited for this game. It's supposed to be a follow-up to Coteries of New York, I believe, or it's like a companion game. I'm not sure if it's tied in the same world as Vampire Bloodlines 2, but we'll just pretend that it is. So we're gonna go ahead and play this first part. I did a live stream, but it didn't pick up the beginning, so we're just gonna record the beginning and get into it. I'm going to pick some different choices, see if there's a more amicable way I can move through this, and see how it goes. Let's give it a try. Such trippy effects. Look at all these guys next to them. Are those spirits? That's insane. Welcome to my castle. Don't expect every logic to work here. It went out of the window sometime after midnight, maybe earlier. It's pretty fitting since I'm recording this at like 3 a.m. My kingdom is not of this world, you see. It lies far outside of concrete, tangible reality. I've tried to identify the way people reach it, and I'm convinced it has something to do with the moon. Some say the moon's aura can turn them insane. You've heard the phrases moonstruck and lunatic? The way I see it, moonlight gives them subliminal permission to reveal their true selves. And so, whenever they test whenever they let the silver radiance guide them to the gates of this place, they feel different. Once they pass the doorstep, they're ready to act out. A dance of horrors and marvels begins. It's 3:31 a.m. Welcome to the Big Beat Burger. A knockoff of McDonald's, no doubt. If you're here at this hour, you're not exactly readying up to be a productive member of society. Come tomorrow morning. More likely, you're praying that the sunrise never comes. Insatiable children of the night gather around, hoping to bask in the afterglow of tonight's victories, unwind after a frustrating series of failures, simply fight to keep themselves together. Meanwhile, I'm just sitting here, greedily reveling in every interaction they have. They have no idea that they are only here for my amusement. To them, I'm just a random girl sitting in the corner. So we're just living vicariously through other people, kind of like how we do on social media. This is my domain. I've been coming here for almost every night for 4 years. 4 years. I know where I sit, where to look, and where to eavesdrop for maximum amusement. I'm basically a voyeur and unashamed to admit it. It gave me insight about the human condition I never otherwise have gathered, and more importantly, a necessary skill that begins me as a journalist. As I write on my crappy old laptop, patiently waiting for the legion of negative voices in my head to get too tired to offer useless feedback, I keep my senses peeled to pick up stories around me. Of course, a lot of regular events, such as the food fights, are nothing to write home about, aside from my unfortunate tendency to become collateral damage in someone else's battles. Up to this day, I've had to wash my clothes because of Coke, Diet Coke, hot coffee, apple pie, and some sort of improvised honey mustard bomb. Every stain tells a different story. Do they know you're a journalist? Are they mad at you? Is that why they're throwing stuff at you? Hmm. Sometimes this hobby is exhausting, sometimes it's disturbing, sometimes it's dangerous. Although not as risky when I wasn't carrying pepper spray. Still, the nights I've taken in over the years have made it absolutely worth it. I've gotten so many stories, I don't know where to begin. Theatrical breakups, impromptu morning parties, unexpected friendships forged in the fires of senseless battle. A lady in a gorgeous Givenchy dress ordering a box of takeout chicken nuggets, paying in cash with her hands completely covered in blood. She was asked if she wants a napkin. She said no. No napkin, huh? She's dressed in Givenchy. Are you a Toreador? Are you a Ventru? Because nobody wears stuff like that to McDonald's. And I'll admit, you know, I've worn some pretty interesting things when I've gone to McDonald's in the morning and I have to be somewhere, like a job interview and all that jazz. But, I'd raise a brow if I saw somebody like that in here. 3 a.m. of all times. Two thirsty macho dudes shamelessly going for it in the corner. Hushed moaning filling the lobby, while everyone around valiantly fights to act as usual and maintain an illusion of normalcy. A straight up kung fu fight between a diminutive cashier and some drugged up bodybuilder going through a psychotic episode trying to break up all the windows. The big guy on the left of the joint, fully convinced that he KO'd himself while the service worker was just standing next to him. Seemed proud of his victory, too. A middle-aged hag getting a heart attack after screaming her lungs out not to let Muslims near her food just because she saw a white girl wearing a hairnet behind the counter. Okay, are y'all okay? Like, y'all need a chill pill? Y'all need a TED Talk? Masked couple robbing the restaurant of 30 hamburgers, forcing the employees to cook at gunpoint. Police later said these were art students reenacting some hipster book they read. What? This is life. This is humanity at its worst and best. This is the noise that serves the foundation for my creativity. This is the soma that keeps me going. This is... As pathetic as it may sound, these days, this is the only place where I feel alive. Sometimes I think of myself as a leech, feeding on those people's stories, emotions, and personalities just because I'm not satisfied with my own. At times I think of my psyche as some kind of shitty postmodern construct that is fundamentally incapable of honesty but only yearns for something felt and truthful. Does this even make any sense? I look at the screen of my laptop, 3:47 a.m. I wish she wouldn't type at this hour. It's scary. What if somebody tried to rob her, man? At this point, I'm almost somnambulic. Let me know if I'm saying that wrong. But nothing interesting has happened yet. Feels like all these customers are watching each other tonight, hoping for others to provide a fun diversion. This is my turf, you parasitic douchebags. Next time, go find your own. I think it's time to call it a night. The coffee I always order so they don't kick me out is undrinkable. Ugh. I reread the rough draft I've been working on for the last 6 hours. God damn, this is pure trash. I hold the backspace button until Google Documents page is nothing but a calm white slate and loud a sound of deep relief. Oh my gosh, why would you do that? No, you spent so long writing that. Why can't you, like, just edit it or send it off to somebody to edit it down for you? Come on, that's a lot of writing. Shoot. There's no pleasure more intoxicating for a frustrated writer than ragging on someone even worse than them. And what target is easier than the dumb bitch he used to be 10 minutes ago? I check the time again. I need to go. I have an important meeting tomorrow at 10 a.m. and I have a hunch it's not going to end well. That's not because I'm an irresponsible dumbass who's going to need a few cups of coffee just to simply function on a basic level despite, like, 4 hours of sleep. Mood, though. Whenever I work, I barely if ever sleep. I want to be hyperactive. I want to be on that coffee, even though I'll be probably burnt out by half the shift. It's okay. It's because I always have a hunch things are not going to go the way they're supposed to. Click, clack, click, click, clack. The loud clatter of keyboards assaults me from all sides, makes this splitting headache unbearable. Used to be I dreamt of nothing else but being part of the New York Lodestar editorial team. It was the first magazine I ever started reading regularly. The first magazine I ever bought for myself. Now simply hearing the word Lodestar is enough to ruin my mood. Something... Oh, my bad. Never mind seeing all these old farts phoning in more reactionary opinion columns and Wikipedia-level analyses of current events. Is this BuzzFeed? Because BuzzFeed has become just like this, I think. Just reactions. Oh. Are they following YouTube? Are they following the reaction video trend? Click, clack, click, click, clack. Say that 10 times fast. They used to destroy and rebuild my entire worldview every month. They shaped my thinking about politics, art, journalism. They even pointed me toward my favorite cigarette brand, for God's sake. Then some talented people started leaving for greener pastures. Some got too wrapped up in their own neuroses. Some became complacent. All of them committed the sin of allowing themselves to grow older. Fresh blood was deemed unnecessary, even though young freelancers kept being bled dry. These days, whenever someone from outside Lodestar talks about Lodestar, it's because of a few idealistic contributors waiting to accept meager pay while putting in serious work. Dumbasses. Other than that, the magazine specializes in publishing pale echoes of provocative ideas I heard somewhere else a few years prior, wrapped in an aesthetic that hasn't been cutting edge for a decade. So, since the Great Recession? No wonder the readership is in free fall. But even though the ship is sinking, the old guard won't let it go down without a fight. As in, if anyone from the outside attempts to board the vessel in hopes of fixing its course or its holes, they will be swiftly taken care of. I should know. Been here. Been there. Done that. As it stands, the only full-time staff member who doesn't make me regularly attempt to cringe my face off with his writing. Ryan. Is Lodestar's editor-in-chief, Brian N.G. The man sitting in front of me right now. Of course, he only has time for editorials these days. A drop in the sea of needs. Managerial duties hit him hard. It's the second time he lets out a theatrical cough like this. He said his piece. Now it's up for me to react, and I'm coming up blank. What do you want me to say, Brian? I'm pissed off. I can tell you've already made up your mind, but you still want to go through the motions just to make me feel listened to. Whatever, let's do this. You're protecting a complete POS here. Now look, I know my article sounds like character assassination, but it's just because the guy gave me enough ammo to make him look like Swiss cheese once the story goes live. My sources are legit. They provide a receipt for everything. They faced all kinds of injustices and are crying out for help. So why are you siding with the corporate shithead and not them? Your sources are not the problem here. I never said they were. You're avoiding the core of the issue. It's a smart girl. Big brain time. No, I believe I've pinpointed it in a precise way. If it were up to me, I'd greenlight the article here and now, and we wouldn't be having this conversation. But you're killing the article. Just because some rich shithead told you he didn't like it. Get real. This is not about some millionaire jerk calling me to make an offer I can't refuse. What is this about then? My boss is telling me this outlet can't afford legal action we have already been threatened with. So what is going on? Who are we covering? What are we covering even, I should say. So, millionaire interference. Oh, for crying out loud, Julia, don't make me treat you like a child. You know how this works. I publish your story. It's Theo versus Gawker all over again. A lawsuit here, a lawsuit there, until we're blood dry. I have a mortgage. I have 3 mouths waiting to be fed at home. I have an amazing team that doesn't deserve to be torn apart over some... Don't you think it's telling that you mentioned your mortgage first? Silence. Just asking questions. I know better than to get into those empty semantic arguments with you, Ms. Lewinsky. You're good at them. The problem is, you're not good enough. Meaning... You're too in love with weaving a good story and establishing a seductive narrative to let facts get in the way. You've got enough pseudos? I think that's how it's pronounced. Like pseudonym? Maybe pseudonyms? Something like that. With no principles on board these days. They always give you facts because that's all they can do. I'm using facts as a way to approach some kind of truth. Except facts can blindside you, and Double Spiral has enough water to down your story to the point where it makes no sense to publish it. Their HR and PR are working overtime to deliver a convincing counter narrative, and they're doing a great job. It won't mitigate the damage completely, but it will put every little thing into question. Jesse Montgomery is a racist, a fraud, a sexual predator, and a downright satanic fuckhead. Damn. Tell him, girl. Let me say it again. Jesse Montgomery is a racist, a fraud, a sexual predator, and a downright satanic fuckhead. Do you personally believe it or not? This is not... You've listened to the tapes. You've read the transcripts. You've seen the documents. You've got the files. I'm asking for your personal opinion. Do you believe it or not? Click, clack, click, clack, click. Of course I do. That's beside the point. It's not. Look, how about I just say it out loud and save us both some time? We're not having this conversation because there's an actual conversation to be had. You set up this meeting knowing every damn well there's only one way it's going to end. You've got a mortgage and 3 mouths to feed. You prioritize the well-being of your direct surroundings over some nebulous concept of greater good. I get it. I really do. Yet for some reason, it seems like you're only prolonging the conversation and rationalizing the decision so that I forgive you, officially exonerate you. I'm not the bad guy here, Julia. I wouldn't say you are. Because he's been a mentor to us. But it seems to me that you won't be content with me just saying that. To me, it sounds like we're having a conversation because you're hoping that by the end I'll somehow see things your way and call you a good man. He mutters something under his breath, ending with a self-pitying chuckle. If only I might be protecting my own ego here somewhat. Not much is true, but I'm not deluded. I know that you're going to call me a scumbag by the time the conversation is over. Oh, come on, don't turn this into a pity party. Kind of mocking him there. No, I'm absolutely a scumbag. And why is that? Because I'm firing you. My thoughts scrambled. For a brief moment, the state of my bank account displays over my eyes with a startling clarity. A howling void opens my chest and starts traveling towards my stomach. No, don't panic yet, you idiot. Get more information now. There must be a catch. And what about my work? Let me guess. Let me get this straight. Ever since we met, I've been working on stories and pieces no one else in the office would touch with a 10-foot pole. Constantly interviewing total nobodies, always busy traveling in the middle of nowhere or regretting my last trip, repeatedly ordered to clean up someone else's mess. Julia. All your long-winded spiels about how that disposable work is the most important work, and suddenly you only remember the disposable part? Dude, never let yourself be disposable for anyone. My feelings about the quality of your work remain the same as ever. It was vital. It kept the magazine going. I will always appreciate it. So you bled us dry like everybody else? Then why would you threaten to fire me? I would never threaten you. It's a done deal. They've made their decision perfectly clear. They? What they? Who is they? He glances left and right and then points upward for a short moment. When he speaks up again, it's a hushed voice. You know, the big kahunas, can't really question them. They wanted your head on a silver plate. He's not looking me in the eye. You're not joking. I would never joke about stuff like this. It's real. Fucking hell, it's real. Damn it, 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 all to hell. That was fun to say. All these years, all this grind, all my plans, and for what fucking asshole, you know I deserve better, and I always deserve better. It always ends with me going down the drain back to the sewers. Fuck. Mental health of someone in their 20s, to a T, at jobs like this. Jeez. No. Take a few breaths. Don't lose the plot now. Keep yourself together, you idiot. The moment you show weakness, they go for your throat. Get back in control. You can't do this. I wish I didn't have to. It's a lost cause. No, I mean, it's impossible. Julia! You can't fire someone who's never been hired in the first place. Takes him a few seconds to put on his "oh, I get it" face. Let out a troubled gasp and start massaging his temples. Lodestar has been my biggest source of income for the past few years, that much is true. But technically, nobody has ever hired me here. It was all freelance jobs. A full-time position only served as a kind of dangling carrot. Promise of a decent pay, career perspectives, maybe even some kind of insurance to save my failing health. Yeah, if you're a millennial or a Gen Z at this be the life. And the recognition I would get for being part of the Lodestar team. A position that everyone around me seems to respect, aside from me. And why did I want it so much? Because you wanted to be validated, girl. There will be time to mourn what it could have been. For now, I should act like I don't care. You know what I mean. If I let you work, even under a fake name, it will be a guillotine for me. This is ridiculous. I know I'm going to start shopping. You know I'm going to start shopping the story around once I leave this room, don't you? Of course I know. I told him. Any response? Let us worry about that. Well, that doesn't sound ominous at all. Click, clack, click, clack, click. I do wonder if I could get accustomed to one of these loud mechanical keyboards people out here love to use. When I did my work in here, I was still expected to bring my own crappy laptop and sit closer to the lobby. So you were a temp, essentially. Always on the outside, no matter how hard I try to break in. A vibration in my back pocket feels like a bad omen. I choose to ignore it for now. I'm working on this fucking story for, I don't know, 16 months on and off. Almost 2 years. I know. You kept cheering me on. I know. We even agreed on the pay I'd receive. If that were me, I would make him pay me for like every page I've written. I wouldn't wait till the end of it all. Just to ensure that I'd be being paid. 2 months behind on my rent. No, wait, 2.5. I catch him off guard. He is momentarily taken aback and then gives me an empathetic stare. Don't you look at me this way. You don't have the right. I didn't know. Well, now you do. Listen, if there's anything I can do to help. If you can't tell your big kahunas to fuck off, I don't think there's a single thing. Julia. I pull out a smoke and light it up. Gotta get back in control. Please don't do that. There's a smoke detector here. No worries. Nick turned it off a few weeks ago. Probably the most creative thing he's done in the past 5 years. Good old Nick, the perfect 21st century cinema reviewer. Never had an original thought of his own. Just relies on his purely algorithmic, there we go, taste to stay likable. That's the best thing. It works. Funny, I used to dream about his job. It was Brian who killed the dream, making me realize Nick won't be unseated anytime soon, and offered to teach me the ways of investigative journalism instead. Wasn't the career I ever wanted to pursue, but to my dismay, I turned out surprisingly good at it until this Montgomery thing happened. We would have been better off writing reviews. Then we wouldn't get fired for telling the truth. It be that way sometimes. Serves me right. Lesson learned. Should have pursued my dreams instead. Stop it. Nicholas is a good friend. Nicholas is a good friend, a respected critic, a member of my team, and put out all that smoke. People tell me I let you step all over me. Why do I even let you act this way? Because you once told me honesty is the most important thing in a mentor-student relationship, and that it works both ways, and because I thought we were friends. He bites his lip and stares sideways to avoid my eyes. They were never. Bosses are never your friend. They're looking purely out for the needs of the company. End of. Point blank, period. At the end of the day, bosses aren't friends. Must have been a terrible mentor if I didn't teach you that. Say nothing. Best I can do now is just stay silent. I don't feel too stable right now, like I could explode any second. Julia. I might have failed you as a guy, but I will do what I can to not leave you stranded, okay? There are options. None of them are a remedy for all your troubles, but... wait a second. Another vibration in my pocket. Another foreboding feeling. This time, I reluctantly take the smartphone out of my pocket. If it has to rain, why not let it pour? A new email. It's a lengthy one. And the sender? Speak of the devil. No. This can't be. Christ. I just got an email from Mila Lopez. She claims she hasn't been laid off. No. She claims she's just been laid off from Double Spiral. Same as Mike Antonoff and Jared Rivera. So there's a pattern, is there? What? What's happened? I'll spare you all her insults, okay? The key thing is, the seems that HR knows all the confidential information about my journalistic investigation and used it to shut everyone's mouth. Hell, apparently Montgomery walked up to Lopez as she was emptying her desk and told her to thank me for being a, quote, dumb and thankless see you at next Tuesday. Ooh. Brian goes pale. Think he has a very good reason to. You effing scumbag. You outed my sources? What? What? Of course not. What are you even saying? Oh, don't you dare play coy. It must have been either you or me, no one else. And you know the way I work. My investigation was basically untraceable, both on and offline. Carefully picked meeting spots, encryption open, encryption upon encryption, every direct quote rewritten 5 times, just in case, and all sorts of red herrings scattered around. I know my shit. You know I do. And this timing? Did you just pass the flash drive to your beloved Big Kahunas during a meeting as a sign of goodwill? Look, I get you're upset. Why don't we just talk this through calmly? Alright, let's take it step by F you. Fury takes the wheel, and I'm just here along for the ride. I can't do anything about it. Well, we all been in that moment. In a deranged way, realizing you're just a passenger in your own body feels liberating. Let's just see it all unfold. Calmly? Fuck you, Brian. Julia! I've been paranoid for months and months and months, acting like everyone I didn't know was an assassin or a corporate spy. I know I haven't messed up, not in a way that would implicate all of them. You goddamn. You thought you could get away with this? I haven't done anything improper. Don't push the blame on me. So why are you claiming it's my fault? Because you're never the guilty one. It's always the bosses, the economy, the obligations you have. And now me? Now you're being silly. Quit with this martyr bullshit. Calm down or I'll have to. You immoral shithead. You mother trucking. Calm down for God's sake. So it goes. I yelled out a lot of words I wanted to say for a long time, but held back. I wanted to. I flung a lot of insults I've been workshopping for years, hoping I'd never have to use them before I break a few things. At times, for a split second, I see pity in somebody's eyes. It's gonna haunt me for a long time, but in the heat of the moment, I don't care. These people, no, this company has nothing left to offer me, so at least let me take this catharsis. In the end, a security guard has to escort me out of the building, and that's the end of my journalistic career.
I feel like my world has just crumbled into nothing. I mean, you have every right to, like, Jesus, if I were you, I would have already broken down into a sobbing mess. I'd love to, but I'm on a subway, far too proud to cry in public, even now, and... Hell yeah! Oh yes, I feel this 100%, we've all had these moments. It's okay not to be okay. Don't worry. And it's stupid, but I feel like someone out there keeps destroying everything I hold dear just to see my reaction. Like it was a prank show and someone was waiting to record me crying. So out of sheer spite, I'm doing my best not to cry. Fuck you, whoever and wherever you are. That's the most Julia Sawinski thing I've heard. Despite the greatest motivator, huh? Not feeling particularly motivated to do anything right now, to be honest. I just want to stay in my bed until my shithead landlord calls the cops to forcefully evict me. Not feeling particularly motivated to do anything right now, to be honest. I just want to stay in my bed until my shithead landlord calls the cops to forcefully evict me. Not surprised. Shit, I know what. Whenever life decides to fuck you over, it's always one after another, but this is too much. How much is too much? Let's recap the last week of June, 2019. Girl, when you get to 2020, that will be too much. I've been kicked out of my job. Well, not that I have ever been hired, so let's just say my mentor broke every vague promise he ever made to me. Big thing I've been working on for a year and a half went down the toilet. It's all useless. My boss didn't protect my sources properly, and now they keep trying to reach me through every possible channel to threaten or yell at me. They have every right to react like that. All of my side gigs were shut down. Nobody's replying to my emails. Someone's been dragging my name through the mud behind the scenes, and it worked. This is Alessandra, the clan that wants to turn us into a vampire. I'm sure they're screwing up our life. I still have no idea who's sending these shitty messages around. I've been asking, but listen, don't worry about it. Dakota, I'm not going to stand idly by and watch you get canceled by some mean-spirited delusional. I said, don't worry about it. Ooh, they're using that canceled term. I have 3 unread messages from my landlord. The messages are previews. Are stressful enough. A call from Chicago. Apparently, Dad has bladder cancer. Mom is in hysterics. She'd go crazy if she heard about my situation, so I pretend everything is okay whenever she calls. He's from Chicago? Bro, that's where I'm from. Girl, you and me? Damn. And she calls every day, and she won't hang up before she offloads all her burdens onto me. And I can't blame her. We all had to cope with Dad's psychopathic tendencies somehow. I was robbed. All my documents and what little money I had, gone. Didn't even know when or where it happened. And it's driving me crazy because I'm always extremely wary of pickpockets. List goes on. Is this 2020? I have to know. Like, 2020 feels like this. Paranoid is good. I know you're always hand wave this topic away. Remember that if anything happens, my place is your place. You don't have to go through it alone. I do. I may be a trouble magnet, and as self-centered as I may be, I don't want to affect you. Aww. I know. Listen, I have another call. Alright, just call me if anything happens, no matter how dumb it seems, okay? And swing by whenever you can. I will. Thank you. See you. I put my phone away. Exhale and blankly stare in front of me. Christ. I glance at my reflection in the window. Just look at this idiot. Whenever the situation requires me to dress formally, I still feel a bit like a child cosplaying as an adult. Mood, though! Should have just followed the dress for the job you want advice and continue dressing up as a trust fund kid who keeps partying on Brooklyn rooftops without a care in the world. It's only after a while that I realize the car is empty. Unnaturally so, I start feeling uneasy, but someone enters my peripheral vision. Huh? And that's the last thing I consciously register. The world dissolves. What? When I come to, I recognize I'm out of the subway, standing in the back alley I don't recognize. It's pretty dark. My eyes start adjusting, and I try to figure out what had happened. There's a gun in my hand, a faint silhouette at my feet. It's not moving. Someone stands in the front of me, covered in shadows. Title drop! I can't fully make out her face, but she's staring at me with visible intent. She speaks. Her voice is raspy and androgynous, her tone hateful and mocking. Why do you hate me? Aren't you a nasty one? What is going on? Who are you? Don't play coy. My mind goes blank. I look at the ground. There's a body riddled with bullet holes, and I recognize who it was. The corpse belongs to Mike Antonoff, one of the double spiral whistleblowers, my source. He was just threatening to get back at me a few hours ago. When did we do this? Is this chick a vampire? She has to be. Before I can feel even the tiniest bit of compassion, I'm guilty. Oh my god, am I guilty? How is this real? What have you done to me? This was her. This was this chick's fault. We don't even remember what we did. She did something to us. We saw somebody hanging out in front of us by that car. In our peripheral vision. It was this chick. We were totally just taken for a ride. You have done something to me, haven't you? Back in the subway, that was you, wasn't it? Man is bleeding out at your feet and you're turning this around on me somehow? I haven't done anything to him. Again, don't play coy. You knew him. He was mad at you. You started telling him sob stories about your situation. He wasn't having none of it. You got mad. Things escalated. He died. I'm just like looking at her like, why are you telling me what happened? Like you're kind of reformatting my mind. She's using some vampire juju. Some vampire juju. This isn't true. It's plausible. That doesn't make it true, does it? This is just a nightmare. It doesn't even make sense. It must be a dream. And if it isn't, the person in front of me must be responsible. It's just a faint voice in my head, screaming that it's her world, that I'm just living in it. What the fuck have you done to me? Nothing yet, but I'll do but I'll do what I can to get you locked up for life. This is a murder, first degree with special circumstances. Is she trying to get us indebted to her? Ooh. This is how the vampire world works. An elder always wants you to work for them. For some reason. Her detached tone only reassures me that this can't be real. I refuse to believe it is. Before I even manage to think this through, I point the gun at her. If I did murder him, you wouldn't be exactly acting like that. You wouldn't be standing in front of me. You'd be running away, calling the police, begging for help, yelling that I'm a psycho. Oh, you are a psycho, but I'm not a coward. I won't let you walk out of here alive. This doesn't make a single lick of sense. Tears well up in my eyes. Why are you doing this? Because sometimes one has to confront what they're really made of. What? There's no two ways about it. She's gotta be nuts. Slowly but surely, she starts walking toward me. Stop there or I'll shoot. Go on, it's the only way you can get off the hook, isn't it? The only way you can survive, but you will definitely prove you're the monster I claim you are. What the fuck is this tone? So controlling and authentic. Patronizing. I'm serious. For your own sake, you'd better be. What is happening? She's gonna kill us. She keeps getting closer. Maybe I did kill Antonov. Maybe I don't deserve to live. Maybe it's less tiring not to live. Maybe I should just let her take care of me. Maybe I should just wake up. Or maybe this insane reality really needs to be rejected as violently as possible. Maybe the world that wants to destroy me deserves to be destroyed. It's right in front of me. It's now or never. Alright, bitch, I'm shooting you. Close my eyes and squeeze the trigger. A loud bang echoes through the alley. I'm afraid to look at what I've done. I've been to a shooting range once and felt absolutely horrified by pistols. You were a right choice after all. I'm so glad. You haven't allowed yourself to break, but you've crossed the line I needed you to cross. So this was the test. To see if we'd be worthy of turning. Of embracing. She's still alive, her voice is coming from behind me. She puts her hands around my waist. Her cold mouth touches my neck, and I can feel my shirt getting violently torn off. I don't understand, but I'm too dazed to protest. This is your final test. Congratulations, you have proven yourself worthy. Well, shit. I could feel something sharp sliding into my neck. It's not too painful, just startling. Think doctor pushing a needle into your vein without proper warning. Then it hits me. Pure bliss. Dopamine receptors I've considered completely fried until now have suddenly recovered, start bombarding me with the most pleasure I've never known before. I finally let the tears go. They come flooding. Is it raining? I feel like I'm in the middle of a deluge. Deluge? At least. Washing away all of my tears. All of my fears, all of my sorrows, all of my anger, all of my pain, all of my ego. I become one with the world and the woman behind me. She's holding me tight, making me feel like the only important thing in the world. Everything else blurs. I feel something intense toward her, something I've never felt before. Is this love? I sure hope it is. This is not you, hisses a familiar, cynical voice in the back of my head. But it's okay, I've never felt particularly fond of me in anyways. New York, you're perfect. Oh please, don't change a thing. He who laughs in the shadows always has the last laugh. Hallelujah, praise be, or when everything is cliched, nothing is. Isn't that the ever-distant utopia I've been chasing all along? People on the other trains, I hope you're doing fine. God, shut up, just enjoy it. You finally understand. She's making love to me, she's giving birth to me, she's burying me. We're facing some sort of euphoria here. Okay, that was creepy, that shadow across the wall. Pretty sure I've been dead for a while. Pretty sure I could stare at my own corpse in her hands from a distance for a moment somehow. And then I'm alive again. She lifts her mouth from my neck. No. Wait, I taste blood in my mouth. Was I drinking her blood too? I realize that whatever this was, it's over. I have to bask in the afterglow while I still can. I also immediately understand that I'm going to chase this fleeting feeling the rest of my existence. Finally, she lets out a whisper which concludes the ceremony. No matter what happens next, don't forget, you're a monster. But you were lucky enough to be born into this world of monsters. Don't you ever mourn that fact. Grace said.